Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Clouds Media. It's a Monday. Yeah, the new week begins. Actually, begins on Sunday, but yeah, we start. We usually say it's Monday. Another week begin here, and the first week of the Premier League. Games have already started. It was witnessed a big game between Liverpool and Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, and we've seen Arsenal play and what Arsenal can offer. We've also seen Manchester City. The goals coming from Helen Haaland. Helen Haaland went on holidays and is back. Was scoring again. Looking very scary. Helen Haaland was on the score sheet this weekend, and also this. I think we'll wrap up the rest of the game today, where Manchester United play and finish. I think wrap up. But we'll be looking at what happened at Stamford Bridge. We'll be talking about Moisés Caicedo deal done, as it was being reported earlier on today. And also we'll be talking about Kepa Arrizabalaga making his move, a season loan move to Real Madrid, and also Chelsea interest in Lavia. So here we go as usual, and I'm being joined here by my wonderful guest, co-host, Steven. Steven, welcome to the stream again, my big brother. How are you?
Doing good, especially after the last couple of days. You right?
Absolutely, I'm doing very well, man. This fresh air that Chelsea fans are breathing in. A lot of Chelsea fans are very happy in regards to what is going on at Stamford Bridge, and a lot of question mark. The talk of town is, what is Todd Bowley doing right now? We're gonna start with Caicedo first, Stephen. We'll start with Caicedo. Till
Mm-hmm.
that British record fee, 150 million pounds, as is being recorded by accredited journalist Fabrizio Romano earlier on today, and 8 years sign. What should Chelsea fans expect from the guy, Moses Caicedo? I was watching clips of Moisés Caicedo yesterday. I was like, this is the guy that we need. And is it going to be an upgrade on N'Golo Conte, or is it going to be just like N'Golo Conte, or maybe better than him?
Time will tell, man. I don't think he'll be better than him. That's for sure. I think that's something that's very difficult to almost impossible to live up to. But if I'm not mistaken, that was his idol. Kante was his idol. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll give Enzo more freedom. So we saw Enzo boss in the midfield yesterday. Now we get a defensive-minded player next to him who can win the ball, free him up a bit more. You got to see a lot more of what we did yesterday.
Look, according to reports, the deal was done on Saturday night. But some other report says because of the game that we had to play against Liverpool, that was one of the main reasons why the deal was not being announced as it was being done Saturday at 10 p.m. Do you read? Is there any sense in that, Stephen? That because of a relationship between
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea and Liverpool, so it stopped the deal from being announced?
I said it to you, right? I think I even said it on stream the other day. I could be wrong. Maybe I didn't. Um, no, because we didn't do a stream Friday, so I wouldn't have. Um, but I said it to you that what I think's got to happen is I think it's done or nearly done.
Yeah.
And essentially they know that our plan is to unveil Caicedo at the game against Liverpool, but they have a fairly good relationship with Liverpool, so they probably didn't want to ruin that because they knew our plan was to bring him out. So I think I remember saying that to you. I think that's definitely what happened. They didn't want us to bring him out before the game.
Yeah.
But look, all that matters is he's our player. He signed everything. He's done his media stuff, done media and medical today. Everything signed, and we're expecting an official announcement this evening, probably within the next hour.
Spot on. Perfect, Stephen. Phantom here. Let me see what we got here at this moment. So I got some few comments here. Big up to Loverboy. Loverboy said, I'm very happy with our Blues. I think you mean Chelsea. Thank you very much, brother, for your comments. And I hope Kim Soo will return soon. Yes, question to be to the chat. What do you think of us signing Casado and potentially getting Lavia as well? Now, Phantom of Many topic. If you have any question, bring it in. We will discuss this question coming from our brother Stephen. The interest of bringing Lavia and then Caicedo at the same time looks. It's all about money. It's all about money. If Chelsea are willing, if Mauricio Pochettino feel that Gallagher is not a guy that can make a difference in the midfield, and he feel like Lavia and Caicedo are the guys, which we all know that definitely Caicedo was going to come in. But with Latvia, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, but it shows lots of concrete evidence that Chelsea are really interested in Latvia, and Latvia also wants to join the Blues. So we'll see how that goes as we stream. We'll be also looking up for any new tweets coming from the journalists, maybe Fabrizio or David Ornstein as we're streaming, or maybe Matt Law, whoever bring anything out in regards to when Casado will be unveiled. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm so glad to see you guys live again. Nee is getting back in this groove again. Welcome to all the new people. Please remember to like and follow and share the video. Thank you very much. I123 love you as usual. Gallagher can be 70 million 70 minutes sub in 70 minutes sub, almost 70 million, 70 minutes sub. And he said something about Caicedo over here. Caicedo is worth 80 million. Rice is a better CDM. What Caicedo can do, Rice cannot do it. It's a bit different. Look, go and watch a little bit more of these highlights of these two players, and you can see the difference. What Caicedo does and what Rice does. Caicedo's energy, it's like the energy keep increasing when the time gets longer. It's like once you get into 90 minutes, that's when Caicedo's energy keep increasing. Watch the game against Chelsea and Brighton at Stamford Bridge. If you want to see what he can do, watch that game very, very well. How he made it difficult for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So, you could also argue that Chelsea were not in their best shape last season. So anyone that traveled to Stamford Bridge was always finding difficult for Chelsea, making it difficult for Chelsea. But yeah, Steven, let me know if you have any updates on when they're gonna announce it. If anything come up, just let me know. Oh, another news here. Steve, you want to read it, or do you want me to read it? Looks,
Yeah, I
Gerald
can.
Timber. Go ahead.
So I've not seen any of the big people announce it, but I'd presume this is probably the case. Apparently Jurriën Timber, the Arsenal centre back they signed this summer, he's apparently suffered a torn ACL, which would keep him out for several months. Of course, it was his debut for Arsenal the other day,
Right.
against Forest, if I remember rightly, and he went down injured once, if I remember rightly. Then he came back on, went down again. He got injured once in the first half. Obviously, half time, came back out after, went back down again. But apparently, he's suffered an ACL injury.
That's a big blow, Steven, because I
Very.
watched the game against Fulham. Was it Fulham, right? No, Forest, right? Forest. I watched the game against Forest, and he was lively. He looked so good of a player. And this is a big blow to Ateta. So what's he gonna do? Do you think the Ateta is gonna bring in any other player to replace him, or not to replace him, to cover up whilst he goes out for a while?
I'm not sure. It depends on how long he's out, I guess. But I think they were actually playing him at left back. So in that
And they
case,
have
they've already got left
Partey
backs
also playing
anyway.
at the right back role. Thomas Partey was
Yeah,
also playing a right back.
the decisions were very odd. But yeah, I think Timber was playing at left back, but they've got fullbacks that can play there anyway. Wow, we got breaking news from David Ornstein.
Drop it. Drop the news.
Lavia has chosen to join Chelsea from Southampton. Liverpool were pursuing, but are aware of his decision of preference of Chelsea over Liverpool. The Saints and Chelsea, Saints being Southampton's nickname, have a good relationship, so no issues expected on a deal or any personal terms. Fee likely to be around 50 million plus add-ons. That's breaking right now.
Let me see if I can find it right on Twitter. Go ahead, keep talking,
Yeah.
Stephen. Let me find it.
I'll see if I can find it and then I can put it in the private chat we have on StreamYard if you can't find it yet.
Okay. Then I can share it. See what else we here. So the interest of Chelsea getting Lavia keep growing and growing, guys. I don't know what you guys make of Chelsea getting Lavia and also getting the interest of we've already secured Caicedo. So now Chelsea are pursuing the signature of
Send in
Lavia.
link now.
Okay.
That wasn't the news I was expecting to come out whilst we were live.
Okay. Now we got that here. 3 the X. I hate that name. But let me share that. Timber, I watched the guy play. I was like, damn, man, this guy is a good player. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. And he was good. He was good. Can't believe what just happened. Decent, yeah.
I didn't see the full game, but from what I did see, he looked very decent. And in a role that he's not familiar with as well.
So if I'm going to take that again, Romeo Lavia has chosen to join Chelsea from Southampton. Liverpool were pursuing, but we are aware of a decision that's Liverpool FC have good relationships, so no issues expected on deal or personal terms. Feel likely to be around 50 million plus add-on. See, Stephen, this deal, Liverpool have been around Lavia for quite a long time, even before they tried to put in a bid for Moisés Caicedo. My only problem is what is taking Liverpool that long to just do a deal with Lavia when Chelsea was not showing that much interest in him? Because Chelsea were trying to pursue Moisés Caicedo, fighting back and front.
We did have interest, but we weren't sort of pursuing it.
And Liverpool were interested in it.
Liverpool were pursuing it, but we were interested in terms of Liverpool were making offers and we weren't, but there was interest there from us. Before we went live, we were literally talking about the possibility of this happening, and that's why I asked it in the chat. That literally, it's mad, right? Because Liverpool, you're going for Lavia constantly all summer, and then you sell Fabinho and Henderson to Saudi Arabians, like their Saudi league. I can't remember the specific teams. One of them was Gerrard's team for Henderson. Can't remember which team Fabinho went to. But then you get that money and you suddenly go, you know what, we're going to go for Caicedo instead. How must Lavia feel knowing that Liverpool had chased him? As soon as they get a bit more money, they go, you know what, let's go Caicedo instead. We've been chasing you all summer, but now we're going for Caicedo instead. And instead, Chelsea went, you know what? You want 50 million? We'll stump up 48 million. That was our initial bid. That was on Thursday night, Friday morning. So I presume that we'd got wind of Liverpool putting in an offer for Caicedo, and that was our retaliation of it. And then we've ended up with both players. Well, we look to end up with both players, I should say.
There's been so many criticism on Roman Abramovich over, destroying the transfer market in the past. That's what people say Roman Abramovich did in his time. But you could tell that Todd Bowley is doing worse, but then doing it the right way, doing it the right way. People will say, what word did you use, Stephen? You used the word. Loopholes FC.
Loophole FC, yeah.
Loopholes FC. And now we're using it. If you can explain a little bit of what Simon Jordan said.
Sorry to cut you off. Romano's just jumped on this as well.
What is it?
Romano is saying that we want the Lavia signing done by Tuesday. So we want this done by tomorrow.
Let me see if I can get anything from Fab.
The later Caicedo announcement, announce them together. That's what I say anyway. It won't happen, but...
What do you Romano say again, Steven? Can you repeat that?
So he's basically pretty much what Ornstein said. He's decided to join Chelsea as his next club. It's been communicated to Southampton. The clubs are ready to close the deal. And then quotes Ornstein on the fact that it's 50 million fixed with add-ons included on top of that. And we want it done by Tuesday, which is basically the one bit that wasn't included by Ornstein.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm not sure if you saw it on Twitter yesterday, but people were saying things like Hazard had one final assist for Chelsea, meaning he's assisted us in getting Lavia to come to Chelsea.
I saw a picture of Hazard at Stamford Bridge. Was it real?
Yeah, he was at
yesterday.
the game.
He was at the game. Yeah, I saw a picture of him. Someone posted a picture of Hazard over there watching the game, and that's a legend. That's a legend to become it. So we're talking about Todd Bowley. With Todd Bowley and also what's his name? Todd Bowley and then Roman Abramovich.
Yeah.
I listened to Summer Jordan in the morning in regards to what Chelsea are doing and how they're getting their money in and why they're spending so much money on these players, and which it doesn't affect financial fair play. Yeah. At this moment, the only thing that's holding Chelsea back is the investigation that the FA has in getting itself involved, and also Chelsea have reported themselves with certain dealings that the club did before they took over, which was a very good. It was a very, very good thing that Chelsea did. So this will take things like a doubt and then speculations and things like the whistleblowers and everything away from the football club because they have reported themselves. At this moment, Steven.
Yep.
Do you think with all this money that Chelsea is spending, would they fall under the financial fair play, or how are they doing this?
I mean, we know
academy players. We've sold players to Saudi League, and then all the academy players that we sold, Mason Mount, money that came in. And go ahead and take us through it, Steven.
Yeah. So, I know we've spoke about it before. We spoke about it in January, and stuff like that. But basically, what it is take this deal, for example, right? For Lavia, it's got to be 50 million fixed. So we know we're guaranteed to pay 50 million, right?
Right.
The new amortization rules mean that you can only spread it across 5 years, the cost across 5 years. But there's no limit on the contracts because there's no football-wide rule on that by FIFA or anything like that. That's down to the nations. So we can still offer these deals like you've seen of the 8 years, the 9 years, the 7 years, whatever it is, yeah? You can offer over 5 years, but you can only spread the cost of the deals across 5 years. So this deal, 50 million guaranteed to be paid. So because that's the guaranteed, until we or Lavia, depending what the add-ons are, achieve whatever those add-ons are, it will be spread as 10 million each year for 5 years for Lavia, because that's the guaranteed money we're to pay. Now, when the add-ons are achieved, obviously the add-ons get chucked on as well. But for now, because the fixed fee is 50 million, it's only 10 million per year on the books for Lavia. 50 million across 5 years, 10 million a year, because that's the guaranteed fee. For Caicedo, we know 100 million guaranteed, 15 million add-ons. We can only spread it across 5 years, so that's 20 million per year for him for 5 years. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because Mason Mount's an academy homegrown player We sold him
Yep.
for that amount of money. Big up to you.
Yeah, that's what was being explained on Talksport earlier.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me see what we have here. Give me a second. Todd Bowley and John Terry have a history of bidding for baseball players. Phantom of many topics. Phantom, you doing all right today? This Clear Lake versus FSG rivalry is personal. There's no rivalry. I think they have a very, very good relationship because they are American owners, so they have very, very good relationship in the way they do things. Chelsea moving mad in the window. Ha ha ha! Coming from us, Skala United. Skala United. If you have any update on Chelsea, let me know. If you have time to join us here, and sorry, an update on Manchester United, let me know because I want more info on other club news also. So if you have any info you want to share with us on Manchester United, do me a favor. Today's news, I think there's going to be a protest at the game. The Manchester United supporters group are going to protest at the game. I'm asking myself, does it really make sense? Protest for what? You've been protesting. These supporters have been protesting for years and years. And the Glazers are not going anywhere. They're not selling the football club. And the guy was like, okay, if the Glazers are not selling the football club, we want to know why are they not selling the football club and what is holding them up. The football club has been up for sale for almost about 18 months now, and it's still there, not sold yet. So they want to know, they want answers. Big up to you, B47 ends. I think 7 ends. I'm very sure. Yes, Nee. Big up to you, my brother. I hope you're doing very well today. Yes, I'm doing very well, my friend. Nice to have you guys here. The only negative issue with Chelsea model is that if you guys don't succeed on the pitch, it's gonna affect your FFP. That is true. If we don't win trophy, if we don't qualify for Champions League, if we don't win anything, it will become a very, very difficult issue for us. That's the main reason why we are getting all the players that we think we can get now. The football club can get now to be able to secure and then get themselves to be able to win those trophies. So yes, it's gonna be a long way to come, but then we can do it. Chelsea can do it. Manchester City are there, but we can still push them. Maybe not this season, but next season going, we have to. Pochettino has to start winning something. There will be a lot of pressure on him this season. There wouldn't be that much of a pressure, but I think Pochettino can get top 4. He don't have to, but I think he can get. My brother said Todd found another loopholes to amortize over 5 years. Thank you very
That's
much.
not amortizing over 5 years isn't a loophole. That's actually something that was already in place. The loophole was the fact that, oh, okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah, I saw this earlier. Now that you've put the second message, I understand what you're saying. So
5 years only
the 5
applies
years
to
only
teams.
applies to UEFA competition. So if you're in the Champions League, Europa League, or the Conference League, the 5-year amortization applies to that. We're not in that. So I think by rules, I think we're actually for Premier League profit sustainability. I don't know how true this is. That's why I didn't mention it earlier. But I think from what I read means that on the Premier League profit and sustainability, which is the Premier League version of financial fair play, we would still be allowed to amortize it across the length of the contract. So Caicedo's 8 years plus an option. So we would still, in theory, be able to amortize him for the Premier League profit sustainability, aka Premier League financial fair play, over 8 years. So
Great.
I wonder, I don't know how it would work though once we're back in UEFA competitions. I would presume you would be allowed to submit 2 sets, one to the Premier League and one to UEFA, but I'm not entirely sure. Because otherwise it gets really confusing. How does it suddenly change when you're in UEFA competitions? Because then the money changes. It doesn't make sense. So I'd presume you'll be able to submit 2 different amounts. Then you would be able to submit it as amortized across 8 years, for example, for the Prem, and then over the 5 years for UEFA. Let's see the comment.
So kind of right we have Scala United here as usual. So yes, we have 5 years applies to teams that are in UEFA and we're not in If thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother, for sharing that with us. Manchester United will sell in November, coming from Phantom of many topics. Right now, the Glazers are playing the rumor prize on the sale to Qatar. That is coming from our big brother Phantom of no, this is color. But what is Phantom saying here again? Phantom is yes, is eventually the Glazers will sell, I believe, November. So yes, guys, the link is right there. If you're watching us, brother here, B47, I think, and that's the name. Yeah, if you're watching us here, you want to join here and have a say on what is going on with Top Bully, madness and selling, buying players and selling players right, left, and center. Let us know what you make of that. We have Phantom of many topics here. So let me ask Scala United, Manchester United fan, what's going on, my brother? Habit.
Yeah, can you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, with United and the sale thing, I don't think anyone knows any information. So I
I
don't trust
do, I
from
do. I
anyone.
know a lot.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, hold on a second, Phantom. I'll come to you, okay?
Yeah, so I mean, look, right now the club is focusing on transfers, so all these sale talks have postponed. I think the Glazers will sell when they
Mhm.
get what they want. I think that's what the general rule is. I don't think there is a month or there is a time frame. I think they are looking for 7 billion now. That was the rumor, again, not confirmed. And yesterday or day before yesterday, they were saying that Ineos is trying to manufacture a situation where they can meet the Glazers' demand by not upsetting the shareholders. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm not believing anyone in the sale right now. I think this is today is our first game. I think I'm
Yeah.
more excited by that. And there is a protest today as well. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what that achieves, but yeah, you have to get the word in the media. I mean, the Glazers don't care. They have never cared about this club for the past 21 years. I mean, Chelsea are going to be spending. They already spent 821 million pounds, and if you add a few more pounds to that, that's how much money Glazers have taken out of our club, close to $1 billion. So yeah, man. I mean,
But
the
they've
sale talk.
pumped, they've invested lots of money. Look at the
Yeah,
sale
but
of
they have not.
Maguire.
No, no, that's the thing. See, this is the problem. Like, I think the other clubs fan they don't understand when they say that they invested money. They have not invested their money. It's the club's money. It's what we earn. So what you are spending right now, it's Boli's money. You're putting in what he is has bought for and he's investing in. The Glazers are yet to invest a single penny of their own pocket. We generate our revenue and we spend that money on transfers and all these training and all that extra stuff, revenue. So it's the club's money. It's not the Glazers' money. That's a problem. And the biggest problem with this is that the people who are investing this money, Ed Woodward, Richard Arnold, John Mortar, these are not footballing people, and they make wrong decisions. And that's the problem. That's why we haven't won a title in 10 years. And in this time, City have
Mhm.
you see what City are doing. I mean, I was listening to Steve Parish today. He's the chairman of Crystal Palace, and this
Right.
guy was talking about having he wants to make the world's best training center for Crystal Palace. And if you have looked at, I mean, obviously none of us live in London, but if you have looked at their training facility, it's better than Real Madrid's. I mean, it's like a five-star hotel if you go inside that. That's how beautifully they have constructed that. And and Old Trafford is leaking roofs and there are like rats in the toilets. So stuff like that. That's why we want Glazers out.
That is why we want the Glazers out. They haven't invested their own money on a football club, but you want to what the money that the football club it's earning. That's what the same money that they invest into the football club. What else do they want them to invest into? Because the
Yeah,
money,
first of all,
let me tell you, the money
yeah, the
that you
thing is we
see,
can
the
invest more
money.
money. We can invest more money if they haven't taken a billion of debt. They took a billion debt in 21 years. They always have two dividend payments in a year, one in January and one in July. So how do you expect the club to balance the FFP? Right? If they are taking 35 million within there, they have like four Glazer siblings, something like that, and each of them gets like around like 7 or 17 million. So as the problem, we earn a lot of money ourselves, we generate lots of money, but when then we give this money to Richard Arnold. I mean, for example, we spent 85 million pounds on Anthony. Do you
Mhm.
know what his wage was at Ajax? 20 grand. He was on 20 grand. And can you believe his wage at United is 200 grand?
But you definitely
So
should expect you should
exactly, we
expect to
don't
be
have
able to
footballing people.
look, Scholar United, to be able to persuade a player like Anthony to come to a football club and play the way he's playing, you have to motivate him. And you already know, if
No, we don't
you
need to
Manchester
motivate him.
United,
We
if
have the
you
manager.
Manchester
We have the
City,
manager he played for. We have the manager he played for. He wanted to come. He was on strike. He was putting pictures of Old Trafford, and we still paid 85 million pounds. You know, and we increased his wages by almost 10 times. So that affects our FFP. So that's the problem.
like I said, if you're trying to pursue a player like Anthony, a player like Kudus, definitely you have to add money involved. Look, this recent years, recent way of how players move around from one club to another club. One first has to be the choice of football club, and also money is involved. There's no way you can do it without money.
Yeah,
So
but Man City
money,
don't
you have to
overpay.
be able to
Liverpool don't
motivate
overpay.
them, give them up their wages. So if it's taking 20,
I mean,
and
it's
you
only
Manchester United, you're willing to give him 200. That's a negotiation tactics between his
that's not
agents.
negotiation tactic. That's just ridiculousness. That means you don't know how to negotiate. Do Man City overpaid? For 2 years, Trent Alexander-Arnold won the Champions League, and he was on the same wage as Brandon Williams. He's our He's our fifth choice backup right back. Backup right back was injured for 2 years. We gave him 55 grand. So and Liverpool won a league and Champions League. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have footballing people on your board and your negotiating team. That's what happens. Man, do you see Man City overpaying in the wages?
No,
I
you
think
don't.
Kevin De Bruyne
Chelsea's
just got
not doing
a
that
new
either.
contract of 300, above 300k. He's on like 320 or 325 just now, 1.5 years ago. And how many years has he been performing?
And Chelsea's not even doing that either. He's not
Yeah, you gave
overpaying.
Kepa 275.
No, with Kepa was under the old regime.
Yeah, still, I mean, 275 for a goalkeeper coming from the Spanish league.
That's what I'm saying. It was under the old regime. And at that moment, Kepa was the best goalkeeper you can ever find on earth. It was him and Allison. So, it's just like, look, now tell me, look how much the modern day midfielders are going. Midfielders are going for 100 million. Look at the price tag for Moisés Caicedo. Look at the price tag for Declan Rice. Now look at Lavia price tag also.
Nizan, I've been patient, but I'm on limited time because my cell phone is starting to overheat. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Manchester United right now, the Glazers are the most brilliant people to ever have owned a football team in the history of the Premier League. They basically borrowed Manchester United's worth to buy the team, meaning they didn't spend their own money. Herbert's right. But right now, what they're playing is even more brilliant. They're buying stock options in case the deal with either the Radcliffe or Qatar doesn't go through. If Qatar doesn't give them what they want, then they make money by not selling the team because they're buying stock options against the sale. You see, and then what they do is they're also buying and selling the stock as they put out rumors. Whoever's their version of Matt Law, they give out a rumor saying, "Oh, the deal is close." The stock jumps up $2, and then a week later, when we all find out, that we've been fooled, the stock drops back down, and they're doing that every time the stock goes up or down in a dramatic way. The Glazers make money, so they're making money on both sides. They're making money when the stock goes up, and they're making money when the stock goes down. And they're timing it to the end of the stock options every single time. However, the Qatar group has basically said that, hey, if we don't get this thing done by like the end of November, we're going to just go look for a different team in the Premier League, whether it's Tottenham or somebody else. We're just going to go buy another team and not buy Man United. Man United is the biggest brand in the entire world, so they prefer the Qatar people prefer it. But so until November, the Glazers can keep playing this game of will we sell, will we won't sell, will we sell, we won't sell. But around November or December, they're going to have to, because by then Qatar is just not going to buy Man United. They'll just go buy another team like Brighton or something, and then make them into the next Newcastle. So that's the deal. I'll go back to the text, but I gotta cool down my cell phone for 10 minutes.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Alfonso. If you still got time, you have all the chance to get in
So
again.
there's some
No
breaking
problem.
news right now
All right.
coming from Romano,
Mhm.
and it is good news for Chelsea fans that
Is
they
it
are.
Adams one?
Yeah. They're saying that they are in for both clubs, both teams. Sorry, both players, Lavia and Caicedo, 165 million pounds.
Steven said Adams. I think
Yeah,
Adams
no.
is on his way.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
what he said was that we pulled out of Adams to pay for Lavia and Caicedo a total package of 165 million pound.
Jesus Christ. See,
Because
when
we
the
know
money's been
Caicedo
mentioned,
announcement's meant to happen today, and that we want Lavia done tomorrow. But he's saying that we pulled out at Adams deal so that we could get both of them done. But the other thing to mention is Brighton, I think, are now in for Adams as well. So maybe we've done a little look. We'll pull out a Tyler Adams. You give us Caicedo, and then you still get a player to cover. Fairly cheap
Yeah,
as well, to
he
be
has
honest. 20
decided
mil.
to join Chelsea. Okay, I didn't knew that. So that's the big update.
Yeah,
That he has decided. He
Lavia's
has picked.
decided to join
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
um, Scala,
Ornstein's even
what
said
do you
it's
make
50
when you
plus
hear
add-ons as well.
when the player rejects another club to join another club? What does it really means? Now Lavia doesn't show that interest in joining Liverpool. Liverpool with so much rich history in the Premier League, but then wanted to join Chelsea because of their pride get. What do you mean? Why do the players do that, Scala?
I think first of all you have to look what the contract is. I think probably Chelsea are offering bigger wages, and if you look at Liverpool's wage structure, it is very rigid. Like they are not very flexible in accommodating new players on high wages. I think Szoboszlai is on something like 90 grand a week. So I think that's one. That could be one possibility since you got rid of this guy, Conte, your highest wage earner. So you can now afford to give other people some increased wages. I think that could be one factor. Also, Pochettino, he could probably have talked to Lavia and said that, look,
Joe
you
Shields.
have seen my record at Southampton at developing young players. You're 19. Why not come play for Chelsea? I mean, I'm curious where he fits in because when all your players are fit, and this is probably where you guys can, as a Chelsea fan, can elaborate. Like I feel like Enzo, Caicedo, and Nkunku, that's your best midfield three. So like you're paying 60 million for this guy, he won't be on the bench, would he? Or like does he get into your 11? I know Nkunku is injured till Christmas, but when he comes back, like do you shift him onto the wings?
Well,
Yeah,
Nkunku had been,
he's very
hadn't he? I
versatile.
think Nkunku had been playing on the wings for probably the majority of the time during preseason. So what I've been thinking, and obviously there's no guarantee it happens. It was just me like hypothesizing, theorizing, was that maybe what we're gonna look to do is maybe put Enzo as the 10 with Lavia and Caicedo behind him. That way you fully unlock Enzo's creativity. Then
Yeah.
when Nkunku comes back,
Yeah.
you put Nkunku on the wing, and maybe you put Mudryk on the other wing, depending what wing you put Nkunku on. That
So you
was my
bench
theory
Sterling.
on it.
So you bench Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sterling's still not playing well.
Sterling's so frustrating, man.
Very, very frustrating. Look at yesterday's game. It's like he does the same thing. He's very, very predictable. Steven even said he's very, very predictable. When Sterling is on the ball, you can tell what Sterling is about to do. He doesn't give you anything extraordinary that you've never seen before. Like just like Modric would do, speed up the player and then does something extraordinary in there. Sterling is just like a one-way all player. He just wants to fake a shot, and trying to either cut in and fake a shot, cut in and fake a shot, and it doesn't even play it. And it doesn't get anywhere. So, yes, we're going to move on from that. Kepa Arrizabalaga today make a season-long loan to Real Madrid because of the injury of Thibaut Courtois, who has ripped his ACL, which is not good at all. So that was set him aside for the whole and the rest of the season. And Kepa is there. Is it going to be is it a good deal for Kepa? And what does it bring to Chelsea Football Club? And I want to know, Steven, make of that before I come to Scala. And I have some few
Sure.
questions for Scala too.
It's good for Kepa because let's be honest. If he thought he was undisputed number one goalkeeper for us this season, no questions asked, even though Sanchez has come in, he's rejecting Bayern and Real Madrid, not just Bayern. He's rejecting both moves. Clearly, he hasn't been assured that he'll be number one. I don't think any player should have 100% assurance that there'll be a guaranteed starter anyway, because it causes issues. But especially a goalkeeper who's made so many mistakes and he's so vulnerable to long shots as well. Him going on loan for a season, you're going to Madrid, good defense there. You should help get your value up as well. Shouldn't face as many shots. And then it benefits him because he can go to another team next summer. He'll have 1 year left on his deal. It'll benefit Chelsea because at the moment on the books, he's got about 20 million on the books. So we would need at least 20 million to break even. For him to go next summer when he's got 12 months left, that's down to about 10 million, 10.2 million, give or take. So it's easier to make a profit on him. But it's good for all parties. We got to find another goalkeeper. I think we're going to go for the Valencia guy, that Mamadashvili, or however you pronounce it. It's about 6'6" Georgian keeper. Was at the under 21 Euros, wasn't it? This summer, under 21 Euros. I think that's the plan. What do you think, Scar?
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a good job in getting rid of Kepa, because United are facing the similar situation with Dean Henderson, and both these keepers don't like being number two for some reason or the other. Only problem is Kepa has some takers, and not that Dean Henderson didn't have takers. He wanted to go to Nottingham,
Nottingham Forest.
but they signed Arsenal's backup keeper, Matt Turner. Now again, Matt Turner probably is not even good enough for Forest, so still they are looking to sign Dean Henderson, but again he's injured right now. So Ten Hag said that I wouldn't mind Dean
I
Henderson
didn't know
staying.
he was injured till a couple of days ago. Any idea
Yeah,
how long
neither
he's
me.
out
I mean,
for?
I don't know how this guy how keepers get injured like all of a sudden. So look, I think Chelsea are doing brilliant business by getting rid of Kepa, because I think he in his head thinks that he's the number one, and he probably wants to get back into the plans of starting for Spain. So playing for Madrid, that enhances his opportunity. So yeah, man, I think that's another billion of business. You sold Havertz, Pound, got rid of Kepa, Loftus-Cheek, and you still have Callum Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, and Ziyech left. So
yeah, it looks like
it's
Hudson-Odoi's going to Fulham
he's going to Fulham,
quite soon. I think that's meant to be about 8 million. I think I saw someone report earlier.
Is it for sale, selling outright, or still go on loan?
Hudson-Odoi?
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi would be a permanent sale. I think I saw somewhere earlier about 8 million. Ziyech we're still trying to sell. Lukaku we're still trying to sell. Looks like the reports of Lukaku being in talks with Tottenham were rubbish, which is a shame because that would have been pure entertainment.
All right, guys. I went out for a little bit. I was having issues with my camera. It kept breaking. Nothing was moving. So I was like, let me reset myself and then get back again. So yeah, I missed a lot from what you guys were saying. But yeah, still got to continue with it. Phantom of any topic said that they didn't want to pay Sadio money. Yes, they didn't want to offer Sadio money what he was looking for. You could tell. I saw that coming a long time. That Salah's legs were gone. Poch need to stop starting Sterling. He need to bench Sterling and let Sterling learn and let Sterling know that he's not above anyone. He has to prove himself and work his way to the starting 11 to start playing, because he's not playing well. He hasn't played well even during preseason. All the games that I've watched, from Wrexham to Brighton, from Brighton to who else did we play? Newcastle United, and all the other games, he still hasn't played well. I saw lots of good games coming from in Matson. I feel like Matson came in a little bit too late, but when he came in, he was also giving some balls away. But I know all will come with time. So let's talk a little bit.
Just quick before you move on, right?
Yeah.
So Paul Joyce is arguably the most reliable journalist for Liverpool News. Yeah,
he's roasting Liverpool, isn't it?
Have you seen what's just come out
Yeah,
within the
yeah.
last
I've been
5
reading that.
minutes?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You
I
go on.
just seen it in one of the servers now. So Paul Joyce has reported, that last summer Liverpool were offered Enzo Fernandez for 15 million, 15 million.
15 million.
Yeah, they were offered him for 15 million.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Liverpool, man, what are you doing?
Oh, Scala, is Manchester United bringing any other player? I thought you guys were highly linked with what's Mohamed Kudus. Chelsea was also linked with him. It
Yeah, I
looks
mean,
like
Kudus
he'll
was
be
going to
heading
West
towards
Ham,
West
isn't
Ham
it?
United.
Yeah,
Latest development,
I mean,
he's
look,
going to West Ham
yeah, I
United.
think that was a bit of a lazy journalism. Plays for Ajax. He coached under Ten Hag. Let's just link him. So I mean, he would have liked Kudus, but then he went for Mason Mount. And to be honest, I would have preferred Kudus. So far, if you have seen Mount in all our preseason games, he's been invisible. I mean, I think as United fans, still taking us time for fully accepting him as a United player because most of us see him as a Chelsea academy player, and United didn't do well by giving him in the number 7. I mean, it will take time. So hopefully today is his debut at Old Trafford. So let's see what he does. But again, I'm you reading this report by I'm not sure this journalist has anything to do with Chelsea, but he seems to be good. He's saying that his name is Sacha Tabolieri. So
Oh,
he's
he's
saying that
Belgian. He's like the
Is
yeah,
top Belgian
Belgium.
journalist.
okay. So he's saying basically Chelsea offered a longer contract and higher wages to Lavia, so that's why he chose you guys.
It won't be
So
significantly higher anyway because our new wage structure.
yeah, I mean, look, the winners of this transfer window are definitely Brighton. I mean, Paul Joyce, I'm just reading his quote. He's saying that it quickly became apparent that Liverpool had been used by Caicedo's camp after being encouraged by them to agree a triple 1 million deal with Brighton. So,
Yeah, no, but I saw something about this, right? On what you're
mhm,
saying. So
mhm.
apparently his camp encouraged it, and then he basically said, I'm not going there. I want Chelsea. That's it. I want Chelsea.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it was
yeah,
down to the player, literally down to the player. If it was down to his agents, he would have been gone to the Scouse.
yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I think he wanted to go to probably Chelsea when you guys came in with that 48 million bid. I
Yeah.
mean, if you remember, like Liverpool bid 46 or 45, you bid 48, and then he suddenly had options in the market. Like previously, it was only Liverpool. So now that you have offered higher wages and contract, probably the agent fee is also significantly more. Now he's coming to you guys. So I don't know how you feel about that kind of stuff, but again, he's a very good player. I mean, we played Southampton towards the end of a season, and he was dominating our midfield. So yeah, man, I'm keen to see
But
how Poch does with this player.
But Scala, you have to know nowadays, players not just moving for trophies alone. They know, like I've said many times on this platform, a footballer's career is literally just a decade, 10 years, and the career is gone. So whatever negotiation you think you and your team can get for you as a player to be able to take care of
Yeah,
or build something for yourself after retiring from football is what a footballer have to do. So yes,
yeah.
I really think they deserve whatever they're asking for. Money is the main thing before they move to a football club. Before you can talk about trophies, winning trophies here and
Also,
there.
don't forget, like although Chelsea Stadium is smaller than Sunderland Stadium, having only 40,000,
Yeah,
it is
for
situated
the
in
five.
London, which is a big attraction to
Yeah,
footballers. Like the London, I mean, you don't want. I mean, I've never been to Merseyside, but I can not imagine it being better than central London. So I
yeah.
guess you
Now
prefer that way.
Chelsea have also acquired other parts of London, a property over there which is close to Stamford Bridge. So there will be very
Mm.
soon the stadium will be shut down and the remodeling or whatever it is will be taking place. They really have to rebuild the stadium, not knocking the whole thing down, but then attach some part to it to make it almost about 60,000. Right? Is it going to be like 60,000,
We
Stephen,
don't know what
capacity?
the plan's going to be yet. We're still potentially looking at going to Earls Court as well. So we're not entirely sure. We got to wait until about the middle of September for the consultancy period for the residents of the Stoll Foundation to decide whether they approve the sale to Chelsea or not. and then from there we'll know more what's happening. If they accept it, maybe we stay at the current site. If they reject it, then maybe we leave. Maybe we leave anyway. Who knows? Because there's an argument to be made for both, right? There's an argument for staying on the current site and an argument for why you would leave. I honestly would kind of prefer to leave. I just think if we can secure the old school site, I think that's better for us. I think it's a bigger site. We can probably do more work, get a bigger stadium there. Whereas on the current site, there's so many limitations because of the surrounding areas like the train tracks and the rest of the Stoll Foundation that we aren't able to purchase and a couple other things. I think the limitations, I think we're better off securing Old School, staying at Stamford Bridge whilst we develop Old School, then selling the Stamford Bridge site.
Yes, we got less than 10 minutes to end the stream. But before we end the stream, we'll be ending the stream with Neymar da Silva Jr. Nova da Silva Jr. I'll get to Neymar real quick. Let me see what Phantom have here. Phantom of many topics that I hope Kepa stays in La Liga forever. It looks like Kepa might stay in La Liga because if he does very well on his loan spell with Real Madrid, that will give other football clubs to come in, and maybe he doesn't want to be a second fiddle to what's his name, Kepa Courtois, so he might get a very, very lucrative offer from either La Liga, because look, he has two other choices. He was being linked heavily with Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, but then he chose to go to Spain. So when any Spanish club comes in, like, who knows? Maybe Barcelona can come in for him. Maybe Atletico Madrid can come in for him, and he's still a good goalkeeper. But just like he's struggling with a little bit of his height in the Premier League, so he might move on. When he move on, Chelsea will still get more money because we're getting more money back from his loan spell, a whole season loan money. It's going to be probably, who knows, maybe 2 million, 3 million. So, and also, yeah, Stephen, we did talk about someone yesterday someone went on loan for that amount of money, and we had people were talking about this player that came from Atletico Madrid that joined Chelsea, which is Joao Felix, 3 million loan, and people were talking about it. So there was another player that we did talk about yesterday. If I can elaborate on that, on his loan move, he's not as a big player as the others, but then he's also going for 3 million.
I haven't actually seen the deal myself. So
yeah, Kepa deal, I haven't seen that either.
I thought what was happening with Joao Felix, I think I saw somewhere a little while ago, as in like a couple of days or a week ago or so. I think I saw somewhere that the plan had been to go to Saudi and then be loaned back into Europe or something.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look into it because I might have missed something. Because we know how chaos
topic. He's been talking about Slonina. Slonina is going on loan. He'll be going on loan.
He's gone on loan to Belgium.
Belgium, yeah.
For a team that's not very good, and they played Club Brugge the other day and conceded 5. That's how bad that team is.
Who signed that loan deal for him?
I don't know. It's not a good loan, I'll tell you that.
No.
I would have rather him got a loan in the Championship, to be honest with you. I think I said that from day one when we heard he'll go out on loan.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi will join Traore at Fulham. Yeah, Traore also moved away from Wolverhampton to Fulham. And then also, Scala, the topic of the day is Neymar da Silva Jr. It's on his way to the Saudi League. What would you make of that for his career at that age? Do you think it's the right time for Neymar da Silva Jr. to move to the Arab League, or do you think he has given up in his life trying to pursue a Champions League trophy?
I mean, he already has a Champions League. I mean, didn't he win with Barcelona in 15? So he's a Champions League winner.
Oh yeah,
he was the man of the match in the semi-finals as well. So it's I think with Neymar, I feel like he's one of those guys, I think, who don't really care that much about football. Like, they enjoy the lifestyle around it and the money, and they don't really want to leave a legacy behind. Obviously, look, He's going to be, or is he the top scorer for Brazil? So when they play for the country, that's what they really like. And I probably think that his next dream would be the World Cup, and he doesn't want to risk any kind of injuries by playing in any of the other leagues. I think that's what is. I don't know. That's what probably he thinks, or what maybe I am thinking that. But look, realistically, his only option was Barcelona, and I think they can't go for him. They are not going to be paying 80, 90 million for Neymar. I think the PSG got 100 million euros, close to 100 million euros from that Al Hilal. So, and he's probably on 2.5 million a week. So
Yeah.
that's again generational wealth. So you can't say anything. I mean, I don't blame him if he wants to play in Saudi Arabia, make money. I'll probably be looking out for him in the World Cup. I don't think he fulfilled his potential in the PSG team. I would have wished to see him in the Prem, but again, I don't think Neymar really, as I mentioned, he doesn't seem to be that motivated by leaving a legacy behind. Uh, I mean, this guy is paying 400 grand worth of fines for building a helipad outside his villa. So
Who's that?
that's what, yeah, he
Neymar.
pay the, I think
Oh.
in Brazil or something, or Paris, like he built a helipad and he was fined because it wasn't allowed by the zoning
Authorities. Yeah.
authorities.
Oh
So
no.
look, that's his life and that's his choice. That I've been fine with it because Neymar is that kind of footballer. You don't watch him for GA, right? You watch him for the beauty of the game.
Beauty.
So,
Yeah.
and if you comes to the Premier League, you can already assume, these British pundits, they are going to be saying like, he doesn't contribute, doesn't do the defensive work, and all that kind of stuff. So in some ways, I'm happy that he never came to the Premier League because how they treat players like this who have flair. So yeah,
Some
good for him.
journalists wants to see him. Some journalists want to see Neymar in the Premier League and see what it's all like. Where would you place Neymar in legendary status? Where would you place Neymar among the best attacking players we've had in the world? Is it going to fall within the 20 top 20s or 10?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think you have to place him in the top 10, man. 20 is way too low. I mean, talent-wise, I think he's more talented than Cristiano, in my opinion. Like just pure talent. Forget about the athleticism. That's like genetic. But if you look what he can do with the ball, I think you have to put him really close to Messi because I haven't seen anyone do the things he does with the ball, unless if you have watched Messi and Messi is like a freak. So
If you talk about what he can do with the ball, you trying to
yeah,
rate him based on what his ability and what all he can do with the ball. Maradona does more than Pele did in his time, but everything that Maradona did, Pele did it, but with skillful controlling the ball. More,
yeah.
you could get more from Maradona than Pele. Doesn't mean Maradona is better than Pele.
No, I'm not talking about them guys. I'm just talking about the last 10 years, like in the previous
Okay.
decade, when you're comparing him to players like, Suarez, Messi, Lewandowski, Benzema. I mean, not talking about, all time, but I'm just comparing the last 10 years. I think you have to
Okay.
put Neymar in the top 10. Even you can put him in the top 5 because if you watched his season under Barcelona, he was unreal, man. That front three of Suarez and Messi and Neymar. He was
Mhm.
probably, I think, the underrated in one of those in that trio. So yeah, I think I'll. I mean, look, I'll still watch some of that Saudi Pro League. It's free to telecast in my area, so that's good for us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he does. I don't know if you saw this. Like these guys, I think the Saudi Pro League's director is one of your ex Chelsea's
Yeah, it's
DOM,
Michael Emenalo.
Emiliano.
Emiliano,
Yeah,
yeah, he used to be.
he's saying that in another 3 years we are going to make our league better than the Premier League. So
They're
that's what
coming
they're
for
aiming.
it. Everyone is
They're
moving.
coming
They're
for it. Yeah,
attracting all the players in the world.
yeah.
Steven, what do you make of a Neymar's move? Is it a good idea for Neymar at this age to move to the Arab League at this point in time? Do you think he's down with European football?
Um, I think it's probably a good move. I mean, realistically, where else was he gonna go? Because I think he had a falling out with PSG. Yeah. Who's really gonna come in for him outside of the Saudis? That's the way I look at it. I'm not sure anyone would come in and pay whatever PSG would have probably wanted, even though they had a falling out with him. So it's probably the only move he could have made, really, was to go to Saudi.
Okay. Its wages are very, very high. I don't know how many European
Isn't it
football
like
clubs can
90
it's
million or
2.5
something,
million a
right?
week. 2.5
90 million a year.
Yeah, something
That's
like that.
ridiculous.
2.5 million a
Yeah,
week.
it's just under 100 mil a year.
Fulham shut down half the seats during the championship year, so that's coming from a Phantom of Minute topic. And Chelsea should play to Wembley.
No,
Definitely.
no.
Where would they have to go? I don't want
Don't
Felix
play at
back.
Wembley. I
Where would
don't
they
want us
play
playing
if
at
it's been
Wembley.
shut down?
Hmm?
Where would you prefer Chelsea should play at if they shut the stadium down?
So if we're going for the rebuild at Stamford Bridge, I'd rather us look at other options, not Wembley. Wembley's a logistical nightmare. Like, genuinely, it's a logistical nightmare.
Too big? Too huge?
Just so if you go, say you go by train, right? So I went the one time I went by train, it was for England versus Italy in the build up to the Russia World Cup in 2014, right?
Yeah.
Only England game I've ever been to. After that game, bear in mind it's the only time I've ever took the train. I was waiting to get to the train station for about an hour after the game. Because obviously it's only one underground station. I think there's an overground station somewhere, I don't know where, but a lot of people, if you're a London club, a lot of people go take the underground or drive. If you drive, it's not a big deal. But if you go by train, it's a big, big problem. Getting there is not an issue. It's more getting out.
Yeah.
But for the logistics, I would rather we didn't do it.
Fair enough. What said? What a day it's been now. We've covered almost everything. We've covered Caicedo. It's been announced. It will be announced soon. We were thinking it would be announced whilst we're streaming live, but it still hasn't.
We thought it would be
Yeah.
announced around 6 o'clock. You know what's gonna happen now, don't you? Almost immediately after we end the stream, it's gonna happen, isn't it?
It's gonna happen. We'll push ourselves back again if it does, or maybe not the following day. I mean, we all know this. Everybody know now he's a Chelsea player. We just want to
We
see
know
the
he's a
pictures.
Chelsea player. It's just a case of the announcement, what gets said in that announcement.
Yeah. So we'll look into that. And also, thank you very much, Scala United. Herbert, big up to you, brother. It's always nice to have you on the platform, giving us a different perspective of what's going on in Manchester United. Where do you guys see yourself when you did your prediction? Where do you put Manchester United? Top 4, top 5, top 6?
I think it's more towards, I'm leaning towards the points rather than the position. I think we got like 76. I think I would like to see the team cross that 80 mark. That's what my hope is. I mean, if that still gets you third, I'm fine with it, because again, like Arsenal and Man City, they are very ahead of us. I think we can close into Arsenal. I don't know if you read the news right now. Like Urin Timber, he's out for an extended period right now, so that's a positive for other teams. So yeah, I think if we can get anywhere closer to, I think if we can keep the gap to single digit to Man City, like 9 points behind them, and they win the league, something like that, I think that would be a decent season. But yeah, I mentioned before in the comments, I think with now you guys have spent close to, like, what is it, like almost 250 million on 3 players, 3 midfielders. I think Chelsea are in a very big pressure to win a League Cup or any FA Cup, because you have one game a week and no European excursions. So you guys are on a big pressure. You guys have to win something this year. You can't be spending all that money just to finish, like, a point or two behind ahead of Brighton.
To be fair, our
Definitely money will come.
What would be our cup team essentially is also looking very strong.
Yeah.
If we get a decent backup keeper, then I'd be happy with our essentially second string team. Because you look at it, right? Let's take defense, for example, right? We know roughly our starters are if we go based on what we saw the other day, say Disasi starts over Silva because Silva might not play as much because of his age. Just theorizing, right?
Yes, Steven.
But it'd be Reece James, either Silva or Disasi. I think it'll probably end up being Disasi long term because you can phase Silva out. Levi Colwell, Ben Chilwell. Yeah.
Mhm.
The backups will be Gusto. Yeah. And then Silva or Disasi, depending who's in the full strength one. I
We
think
have
towards the end of the season, it'll be
Badishia.
Silva.
Yeah,
No, Badiashile will be the backup to Colwell, so that'll be the left centre back. And then I'm hoping we loan or sell Kukurea and that Martson will be the backup left back.
Steven, give me a second. Let me say this. I'll speak to you later. Fellas, need to get some sleep. Yes, I forgot it's getting late over there in your place. So thank you very much, Scala. It's always a pleasure. It's nice to have you on the platform discussing other matters. But we'll see you again some other time. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night, Scala. All right, go ahead, Steven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully we loan Kukurea and then we can make Martson the backup left back. Midfield wise, depending what we do with Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. If we start them three together, fair enough. Because like I was explaining earlier, maybe we move Enzo into the 10, give him more creative freedom.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're going for Elise. So Elise will probably end up being, well, he might start on the wing for now, and then when Nkunku comes back, he might become a backup.
Steven, we haven't done any much of a review from the Sunday game. What do you make of Enzo Fernandez being in that midfield, creating, and he was so outstanding, but it's just that the finish, he has to add some goal scoring to his touches. And what do you make of that guy? Seeing him playing
Enzo
up front
cooking.
now yesterday.
Enzo cooking.
He was so great. I'm watching some clips of him right now.
Oh,
I was like,
man.
oh my goodness.
This is what I'm saying though. He was doing that without having a proper like ball winning type defensive player, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine with proper 1 or 2 ball winning defensive midfielders with him and him slightly further forward. We're going to see a lot more of that if that's the plan. That's scary, but not for us.
Liverpool were just, I think, up to like 80 minutes, they just had one shot on goal, and that was the goal.
They had one shot on target. Literally, the whole game they had one shot on target.
Liverpool need help. They need help, and I don't know how they're gonna do it. Steven, yes, we have to stick to our time and stick to our promises, so we don't want to go beyond it.
Just one
Phantom
second,
of many
because I
topic.
don't know
Thank you
who's
very much,
reporting
brother.
this. I don't know the specific journalist, so take it with a pinch of salt until you see it from other people, or unless someone's already put it with the actual journalist. But apparently, a loan move to Newcastle is apparently increasingly likely for Kukurea.
Huh.
Fine by me.
Say that again.
Apparently, a loan move to Newcastle is increasingly likely for Kukurea. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Another Arab money. They should come and take him away. Take him away. He's good. He can hold on to the ball, but he can't cross. So take him away. Newcastle, if you really want Kukurea, will be very, very happy. All right. So thank you for sharing that with us, Steven. It's a pleasure streaming with you as usual, all the time. Very soon. I won't say anymore. But then appreciate your time and coming on. Phantom of any topic as usual. Thank you very much for you. The Man United finish ahead of Liverpool. United definitely will finish ahead of United.
Well, Liverpool struggling to get a defensive mid at the moment. So if they can't get a defensive mid, they're in big, big trouble.
Every player that they want, Chelsea also want the same player, and we are ahead of them in terms of
PSG or Bayern or Man U. I've seen them linked to about 2 or 3 of the players that Liverpool want as well. And then there was talk that they're looking at Valverde and Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni ain't leaving Real Madrid. Valverde, I think somebody said to me that he's a Real Madrid fan, so I doubt he leaves Real Madrid as well. So that's another 2 options gone. But yeah, That was the only
Oh,
other thing as you were on that topic. But I'm done.
what is going on, Makeem? You guys are late. We've been streaming at 5 p.m. UK time this day, so you guys are a bit late when you're about to end the stream and you're not joining. Makeem, my brother, I've missed you. I've missed my brother Makeem, and then my brother wasn't talking that much. He says, "You reckon Lavia will be a Chelsea player? Lavia will definitely be a Chelsea player." Fabrizio Romano has tweeted not too long ago about. Let me see if I can get that tweet real quick again whilst we're here. Let's see my notification. What's up, Fab? Where you are? So yeah, Fab tweeted not too long ago. Okay. Oh, okay. There's a deal for Sanchez. Okay, when I'm talking about Sanchez, let me see. All right, so this is what Fab tweeted. He said that Romeo Lavia decided to join Chelsea as they wanted him already last summer. So Chelsea, any player that Chelsea has been pursuing last summer, even January, have some kind of like a gentleman agreement. Say, look, I want to join you guys because you guys came in for me. You wanted me. You still wanted me now. So why wouldn't I join you? Just like Liverpool. Liverpool never had interest in Caicedo until the Arab money went through for Jordan Henderson, and they feel they feel they can put a little bit up money and then I'll beat Chelsea for it. But you can never do that. You have to get the trust of the player, although you beat Chelsea. But if the player doesn't want to come to you, he doesn't, because the player wants to keep his promise that he wants to sign for Chelsea. If you remember that at the time that Caicedo wrote a letter to Brighton Football Club that he wants to leave, it's something that's it was I think something was being stated in that letter that he's given a promise to Chelsea that he will still join them whenever the time is up. You mean I'm not sure if you can remember that.
There's talk that he was told he would be able to leave in the summer, was what it was.
Okay. So yeah, just like what I was reading, Chelsea got 50 million proposal rejected on deadline day. That's the time that Chelsea was interested in him. Story revealed last summer now makes key impact in Lavia's future as he said yes to Chelsea FC. And also this one is behind the scene. Chelsea wanted to sign Romeo Lavia on deadline day with 50 million verbal proposal rejected by Southampton. So that's a while ago. So big up to everyone here that's just joining Makeem. I hope you're doing very well. He said that what it is. He says what's that? Galad what's that?
Galadog. So Gallagher.
Galadog. Oh, Galadog, Gallagher. Oh, he called him Galadog. He was impressive that yesterday. He was very good yesterday, but can he continue that consistency? We want to see more of him. Else, he will be going on loan, and Lavia will take over his position. So McCain said that Gallagher got in the man of the match. Penzo passes side to side too much. No, not enough. Oh my goodness. Side to side passes coming from Enzo Fernandez. You reckon Lavia will be a Chelsea player? That's said by our brother here. Phantom, what do you say? Cucurella was a big mistake. Actually, it is. Big up, Kimo. Big up to you, my brother. Hope you're doing very well. We have missed you guys a lot. Enzo was MOTM. It's big up to you, and I hope you guys will be back again tomorrow. We're trying to keep consistency again, and we'll be back again tomorrow. It's summer. Lots of us have to pay attention to certain things that's not just football alone. You know, there's a lot of work to be done. Steven, my brother over here, got a lot of work to do, but we are trying to get engaged with you guys at all times. So bear in mind, if forgive us if we don't turn up like you expect us to, but we will. Just an hour shouldn't be that much for me and my brother Steven here. So Steven, we're done, right?
Hang on. Apparently Caicedo's gonna be officially announced in the next 10 minutes. I've just seen someone say, I don't know if they're reliable, but apparently it's gonna be announced in the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Oh, there's a picture. There's already a picture of him wearing the Chelsea jersey at Cobham. There's already a picture of him. Let me share this with you guys. There's already
I think
a picture.
it's one I've just seen
of
There's
Moisés
also one
Caicedo.
of him signing the having just signed the contract as well.
There's that one there at Cobham. He says, "I'm here. I am here." Caicedo is here, guys. Caicedo, the guys you guys are waiting for, he's ready. He says, "What are you saying, man? I'm here. I'm a Cobham. I'm a Cobham. London boy, London boy." So yeah, this is what's it? See, the transfer saga will go down as one of the most humiliating buying story in the story of this sport. Look at all these three. Liverpool were interested in trying to get all these three. Now they've made it here. I like this. I like this. I like this tweet from my guy over here. TLV, you're doing a good job. Nice story. Look at the story on Lavia. He will join them. Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez, they pursued 15 million. They couldn't work for Liverpool. Now they have Caicedo, which they went for 110 million, right? And Chelsea made it 15. 115.
Yeah, well, with add-ons, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the storyline. Unbelievable. So this is where we draw the curtains today. Enzo was Phantom of Many Topics said, tell Newcastle it has to be obligation to buy. We'll tell them. Steven will send a signal to them since he's in the UK. He will do that. So guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. We will come again tomorrow. See you next time. Leo Desperados as usual. Hang on to hope. Enjoy the evening. Bye-bye, guys.